The primary election for the U.S. Senate race is nearly a year away, but many are stepping up to say they are eager to vie, at least for that seat.
One of those people right here, Illinois State Treasurer Alexi. You like how I did that? Alexi Julius, he joins us this morning. So you're doing this exploratory committee. What the heck is that? What are you doing?
First of all, thanks for having me on again. The exploratory committee allows us to travel the state, talk to folks, figure out what their priorities are, what their challenges are, and if it's in the best interest of the people of Illinois for me to run for the United States Senate.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious though, but I mean, I think a lot of people know what the issues are right now. I mean, people are hurting for jobs, people are hurting for health care. Obviously, all of these things right now, and we're in a real mess not only in this country but in this state. So, what is it for you that you're reaching out to? Where are you going specifically, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, obviously, we're talking about the economy with families, but the exploratory committee allows me to lay out my priorities as well, while continuing to do my job as state treasurer and focusing on this fiscal crisis that's also hitting our state in just huge ways. So
initially, I thought you were going to run for governor, but now you probably want to run for the Senate. So do you think Roland Burris should resign?
Listen, Roland Burris is a nice guy. He's served the state admirably. I just think he's been put in a horrible position by Rod Blagojevich. And the process has gone from tainted to contaminated to toxic. And I think there's this distrust out there that people have of their elected officials, and we need to bring some integrity back to the process. I think that's key now more than ever as we're dealing with these really enormous problems that we have going forward.
Well, you say the distrust. Obviously, there are people out there that distrust Roland Burris. So do you think he should resign his seat?
Well, I've said from day one that I think he should resign. I think he never should have accepted it. I said we should have had a special election even before he was appointed. I think it's important for the people of Illinois to choose who their senator is, especially now in this time of massive distrust. That being said, we need to go forward. We need to figure out, this has become an enormous distraction. Instead of talking about putting people back to work, unfreezing the credit markets, finding ways to fix the banking system, finding ways to help people stay in their homes, we're all focused on these political sideshows of who's writing a book and who got appointed to what and what conversations were had. Let's focus on helping people have better lives, which is the reason that we do what we do.
How do we get out of this financial mess?
Well, I think there are a lot of steps, and I think you have to look at take a big picture approach to it. I think from the banking perspective, and I think nothing happens until we unfreeze these credit markets. Unless banks and financial institutions start lending again, nothing is going to happen. So I think number one, what you want to do is identify and take any losses that you have to. Number two, if management is responsible for a lot of these problems with some of these larger corporations, it's important to remove them. I mean, you can't just give them more money and say, well, we're going to keep the same managers in there, micromanage them and give them more money. You have to remove management who didn't do a good job, get the right people in there, find ways to inject capital into these corporations.
How do you unfreeze the credit market? Everything I read or hear about, that's what everybody's talking about. There are people with good credit right now that cannot get loans or mortgages.
Well, you have financial institutions that don't have capital. They're concerned about what's going to happen in the future. They've got a lot of these larger institutions, for example.
So what's the answer then?
Well, the answer is, at some point, you have to either take those bad assets off the book or find a way to inject capital into these institutions.
Yeah, and what are we going to do in this state? Because, I mean, obviously our state's hurting right now, and we got this $25 billion hole. And, it's funny because you're hearing about this raising, perhaps, the gas tax, and then now the Governor Quinn, has this idea to do a stimulus package similar to the federal stimulus package. What was your thoughts when you heard that?
Well, we're going to hear the governor's budget address on March 18th. So next week we're going to hear what he has to say, what his ideas are. I know he's been working with the legislative leaders. And again, we're dealing with challenges that we have not seen since the Great Depression.
Sure.
So tough decisions are going to have to be made. I don't know what those are yet. But tough decisions have to be made.
Are we going to see a raise in our taxes?
We'll find out on the 18th, I guess.
Real quickly, you're doing this limit on credit card advertising on college campuses?
Yeah, we want to make sure, this is something that I'm very passionate about. We need to find a way to get credit cards off college campuses. There was a Nellie Mae study that showed that 91% of all college students have a credit card. And 46%, listen to this, 46% of all college students have 4 or more credit cards. That's an astonishing figure. The average college senior graduates with about $4,000 in credit card debt. And
not a way to start.
We've got a bill that'll help. It's the most wide-ranging, comprehensive bill in the United States that'll help limit the ability of these credit card companies to prey on college students. So we're excited about that legislation.
All right, State Treasurer Alexi Janulius forming an exploratory committee as he circles the state.
We're going to be able to explore a little bit.
Explore a little bit. You've got some
explore.
time here. All right, good to see you again. Thanks for coming.